Hey guys, so I'm going to outline some of the important ideas from 3.1, and 3.1 is all about data collection. So the first thing that we have to ask ourselves is, what kind of data are we trying to collect? So we have to start with, what question are we going to use? So, for example, if I just asked you, how old is this building? That is not a statistical question because I can't do anything with that. There's only one answer there. So that's a bad statistical question. So when we deal with these statistical processes, we're only going to use statistical questions, and they're valid if the data varies. So an example of a good statistical question would be, how many siblings do the students in this class have? So at this point, I'd like you to write down a good statistical question and a non-statistical question. So think of an example of each. Try them out. The other idea that we have deals with, what are we looking at? So there's a few different vocab words here. So the first vocab word is the population, and the population is the group we're interested in making inferences about. So in our case, if we want to actually perform these processes, a good population might be Rockbridge High School, because that's something that we can handle pretty easily. And then from that population, we take a sample. So the sample comes from the population, and it's part of it, because it's not realistic that we can ask every single kid at Rockbridge High School or every single person in America, whatever population we're looking at. It's not realistic that we can survey every person or we can collect data from every person. So we take samples, and the samples come from that population. Now, there is a time that we do ask the entire population, and that is the census. So, for example, the U.S. Census, it goes to everybody. Now, obviously, not everyone responds, but the idea is that when we take a census, we are collecting data from every single person. The third thing that we're going to deal with in data collection is, what kind of studies are we doing? So there's two different types of studies. The first type of study is observational. So in an observational study, we are literally just observing. So the language in math and statistics, it pretty much tells you what's happening. Observational studies, we just look at what's happening. We collect data on what we're looking at, and we don't apply any treatment to it. We don't whisper anything in anyone's ears. We're just collecting it. And now the other type is an experiment. So in an experimental study, we're imposing a treatment. And this is a type of study where we can make some inferences about causation, because in experiments, like you've probably learned in the scientific process, we have control groups, we have a group we apply the treatment to, etc. And we are looking to see if this treatment has an effect. So we're applying something, and we're going to measure the outcome. So make notes of those in that important ideas from the text box or wherever you take notes, and get ready for the next section.